You bought the probiotic with 100 billion CFU because bigger is better, right? Wrong. The company didn't tell you that CFU counts include dead bacteria that provide zero benefit. They didn't mention that 44% of products contain drastically fewer CFUs than the label claims. They didn't warn you that higher CFU counts don't correlate with better health outcomes. The probiotic industry is using CFU numbers as a marketing scam, and you're paying premium prices for deception. Walk into any supplement store and you'll see a CFU arms race. Products boasting 50 billion, 100 billion, even 200 billion CFU per capsule. The labels scream maximum strength and ultra potency. Marketing teams have convinced you that more CFU equals better results. But the science tells a completely different story. Research shows that products with higher CFU counts are not necessarily more effective than products with lower counts. Current labeling regulations allow manufacturers to list total microbial weight, including dead bacteria, without any relationship to viable organisms in the product. You're being sold a number that's scientifically meaningless. Here's how the CFU scam works. The dead bacteria loophole. Here's what probiotic companies don't want you to know. CFU counts on labels can include both live and dead microorganisms. Current regulations only require manufacturers to list the total cellular mass, not the number of viable bacteria. A bacteria can be completely dead and still contribute to the CFU count on your label. The 100 billion CFU you're paying 3,000 rupees for might contain 90 billion dead bacteria and only 10 billion live ones. There's no requirement for companies to distinguish between the two. Testing reveals the ugly truth. One study found a product claiming 14 million CFU per capsule had zero viable growth when tested before its expiration date. Another analysis showed that 44% of products had CFU counts drastically below labeled amounts. Some products contained organisms that were completely dead on arrival. The variability is staggering. Viable bacterial counts in commercial products range from 0 to 2 billion CFU per gram. You're essentially playing Russian roulette. Some bottles have viable bacteria, others are selling you expensive bacterial corpses. The labeling fraud epidemic. Independent testing of probiotic supplements reveals systematic deception across the industry. One comprehensive study found that only 56% of products were compliant for the number of cells they claimed. The remaining 44% contained lower CFU counts than declared on labels. Another investigation tested 52 supplements and found 17 had CFU counts drastically below labeled amounts. Research analyzing 25 commercial products found that only 32% contained more than 100 million CFU per gram, and most of these were still below label claims. The fraud extends beyond numbers. Studies reveal that 32% of products misspelled organism names on labels. Common issues include lack of essential information like strain-specific CFU counts, absence of scientific references supporting health claims, and missing dosage recommendations. Less than 20% of supplements state strain-specific quantities. None of the probiotic foods tested displayed strain-specific CFU counts, scientific references, or recommended dosages. You're buying products with zero transparency about what's actually inside. The more is better myth. The probiotic industry has weaponized CFU counts to justify premium pricing. Products with 100 billion CFU cost 3 to 5 times more than those with 10 billion CFU. But the science is clear. Higher CFU counts don't automatically translate to greater probiotic benefits. For individuals in relatively good health, a daily dose of 10 to 20 billion CFU is likely sufficient for everyday immune and digestive support. Most studies show that 10 to 20 million CFU are adequate for probiotic benefits. You don't need mega doses. You need the right strains that survive digestion and colonize effectively. The mechanism of probiotic supplementation is helping maintain intestinal balance by replacing unfriendly microbes with favorable ones. Because not everyone needs very large amounts of probiotic bacteria to achieve this, moderate supplementation of high-quality probiotics may be more effective. than massive CFU counts. In fact, excessively high CFU counts can cause problems. Some people report chronic diarrhea lasting longer than 1 week when taking probiotics with 70 billion CFU or higher. For individuals with severe medical conditions, abdominal pain, or leaky gut, too high a CFU dose registers as intolerable side effects. The strain-specific reality. Here's what actually matters. Specific strains at effective doses for specific health outcomes. A systematic review found that treatment with 400 million to 120 billion CFU of Lactobacillus rhamnosus (GG) for 10 days to 3 months reduced antibiotic-associated diarrhea risk from 22.4% to 12.3%. Notice the massive range. 400 million to 120 billion CFU produce similar results. That's a 300 times difference in CFU counts yielding comparable health outcomes. This proves that CFU count alone is meaningless. Strain identity and viability matter more. Different health conditions require different strains at different doses. The FAO/WHO guideline recommends products contain at least 1 billion CFU per serving. Products claiming to contain this amount or in excess represent only 60% of supplements tested, but efficacy depends on the specific strain surviving stomach acid, adhering to intestinal walls, and producing beneficial metabolites. A product with 10 billion CFU of a well-researched strain like LGG outperforms 100 billion CFU of unidentified bacterial species. The health outcomes, nobody measures. The probiotic industry focuses on CFU counts because they're easy to market, but what they should prioritize is measurable health outcomes. Reduction in digestive symptoms, improvement in bowel regularity, decreased inflammation markers, or enhanced immune function. A Cochrane review of 82 randomized controlled trials with 12,127 participants found probiotics reduced diarrhea risk by 36% and decreased mean diarrhea duration by 21.3 hours. These are real measurable health outcomes, not arbitrary CFU numbers. Companies should conduct clinical trials proving their specific formulation produces specific health benefits at specific doses. Instead, they slap 100 billion CFU on labels and rely on consumer confusion about what those numbers mean. The lack of regulation enables this fraud. Probiotics are classified as dietary supplements, not drugs, meaning zero quality control requirements. Companies can claim any CFU count without testing. The FDA has limited enforcement capabilities. What companies should disclose? Before you buy another probiotic, companies should provide third-party testing proving their CFU count at time of purchase, not time of manufacture. They should distinguish between live and dead bacteria on labels. They should specify strain-level information for every organism. Generic names like Lactobacillus are meaningless. You need strain-specific identifiers like Lactobacillus rhamnosus (GG) to verify research backing. They should publish clinical data showing their specific formulation produces measurable health outcomes. CFU counts mean nothing without efficacy data proving those bacteria actually work in the human gut. They should disclose survival rates through stomach acid and bile. If 99% of bacteria die before reaching your colon, the CFU count on the label is irrelevant. The smarter approach: stop choosing probiotics based on CFU counts. Instead, look for products with published clinical trials demonstrating health outcomes. Verify strain-specific identification. Generic species names are red flags for low-quality products. Choose probiotics with 10 to 20 billion CFU from well-researched strains like Lactobacillus rhamnosus (GG), Bifidobacterium lactis, or Saccharomyces boulardii. These have decades of research proving efficacy at moderate doses. Demand third-party testing certificates. Reputable companies provide certificates of analysis showing actual CFU counts at time of testing, not just manufacturer claims. Consider postbiotics or heat-killed probiotics that bypass the viability problem entirely. These deliver beneficial bacterial metabolites without the CFU deception. The probiotic industry has turned CFU counts into a marketing weapon. They've convinced you that 100 billion is better than 10 billion when the science proves otherwise. They've exploited labeling loopholes to count dead bacteria as live CFU. They've created an arms race of meaningless numbers while 44% of products fail to deliver what labels promise. Higher CFU counts don't correlate with better health outcomes. What matters is strain identity, viability, and clinical evidence. You need the right bacteria in sufficient quantities, not astronomical CFU counts that mostly die in your stomach. Stop falling for the CFU scam. Demand transparency, clinical evidence, and third-party testing. Your gut health deserves science-based solutions, not marketing deception disguised as billion-count wars. The truth about CFU counts is simple. They're the probiotic industry's favorite lie. Don't buy it.